Yo everybody, what's going on? This is Keegan from Kman Reviews. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you hit that like and the subscribe button. And if you have any opinions at all that you would like to share, make sure to leave them down in the comment section. Gurba and Jordan Gilhespy, Anticipating Love. Gurba and Jordan Gilhespy are Canadian songwriters, musicians from Edmonton, Alberta. Mainly heard about this since I've been following Gurba for quite a while now. Really mess with a bunch of his tracks. I enjoy his cadence, charisma, and lyrics tackling mental health and overcoming struggles. So, hearing this collaborative EP being announced, I got pretty excited, especially since the teaser track was pretty great. But now the full EP is here, so what are my thoughts on Anticipating Love? Let's find out as I review it track by track. We will start with the singles, with there only being one of them, and that being Do It To Me, which as I mentioned earlier, I think is a great song. Still is, no doubt, probably one of my favorites here. I especially like the commanding bass work to open up the track, guiding the way to this repetitive hook with a skittering drum. Jordan kinda sells the hook from just being another boring repetitive one. She has a bit of a monotone delivery, but it's also a very sensual and sultry performance, setting the mood for the song pretty effectively, most notably when her verse comes in. Gurba handles the first verse, and it's pretty consistent. Nice flow, good energy, plus I do like the back and forth gimmick for the pre-chorus, with both Gurba and Jordan having this reverberated effect on their voice. It's a nice build-up to that hook. Really nice track. Now for the rest of the tracks. Opener Starlight is my favorite song on this EP. There's no debating that. This track bops, peak pop rap easily. It opens up rather slow with a submerged guitar melody, the echoed percussion just yearning for that drop, and when it comes, it explodes with a groove. The driving drum, that bass, it just really reminds me of like a Baby No Money instrumental, which I am all for. Jordan's slower, melodious chorus is a very nice contrast to Gurba's exuberant verses, which that first verse with that rapid-fire flow really took me by surprise in the best way. Lyrically, it's just about meeting this partner at a club who always seems to catch eyes, shining like Starlight. Please, if you check out any song from this EP, make it this one. Great song. Little Love is the closest we get to a slower track on the EP, and it's pretty alright. I love the prominence of the piano in the opening and just how sweet it all feels. The full song comes about 40 seconds in, and Jordan's instantly crushing singing is such a captivating way to lasso the listener in, especially when her voice breaks ever so slightly a few times. The dense percussion helps to provide a light vibe alongside the piano, making the track feel very heartfelt. Then we get to Gurba, who resorts to a more confrontational and intimate whispered delivery, and it's here where I kind of have to detail a personal irk with Gurba's flow. It's really hard to explain this with words, but it's a very cumbersome flow at times, feeling much more like talking more so than a harmonious flow. It's not necessarily offbeat or syllabically crammed or anything like that, but it's strangely clumsy. Listen for yourself and see what I mean. Maybe it won't bother you too much, but at least for me, I just find it a little bit difficult to fully jam along to the song with that flow. It's not the worst offender on this EP by a long shot, but we will get to that. The song is mostly good, and I really like the lyrical content here, hoping for this partner to come by and show you some love after being torn apart many times. Pretty good song. And finally, Drowning featuring Samson Brown is probably the weakest link on this record. It opens up promising enough with the gorgeous piano, much more front and center than on Little Love. And then Gurba's verse comes in, and this is the perfect example of that awkward flow I mentioned earlier, but this time it's for the entire verse. If you enjoy that, please continue to. I'm not trying to stomp on it, but just in my opinion, it feels very sloppy and kind of ruins the track for me. Thankfully, Jordan's hook brings me right back. It's a nice, warm performance, which is then followed by Samson, who does a really nice job. His tone has a little bit of roughness to it, very distinctive as well, which helps to amplify these lyrics about suffering from anxiety and depression, people not really watching out for you, and how fast they can change up on you as well. Love how it's written. Most of the performances are solid, but as I mentioned earlier, it's just kind of the weakest. Overall, yeah, I enjoyed this EP quite a bit. Mostly sweet production, mostly good performances, a lot of vulnerable emotional lyrics to help back it all up. It's not perfect at all, again, I think that kind of boils down to personal preference, but I still recommend giving this EP a listen for yourself. This is just my opinion after all, and I think I'm feeling about a 7.5 out of 10 on this EP. Well guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.